Hello, good evening and welcome to this taster session of Creative Café. Hopefully by the end of this session you'll have a really good flavour of what Creative Café is all about, what it's like, and maybe you'll decide that you'd like to join me for the next 5 weeks to do some creative writing. So, what do you need to know? Well, if you're participating live this evening, you can share your ideas in the chat box, or you can just record them, write them down on your worksheet. That's absolutely fine, or a plain piece of paper. Or you can also just discuss your ideas with a sibling or an adult at home. Now, you can use the chat box freely. I don't mind that. It's nice for you to say hello and share your ideas, but let's try and keep it loosely focused on what it is we're doing during the session. Now, we will have some breakout rooms, but they are optional. You don't have to go into them, but I always recommend you do, because it's really nice to share your ideas with other learners from all across the world, mostly in the UK, but we do have people signed up from all around the world, and it's nice for them to hear your ideas too. Now, if you are watching later by video replay link, you can share your ideas in the video comments. So when you see that video, it will be on YouTube and there's a comments section underneath, or again, you can just make notes on your worksheet. If you are not joining us live, then you won't get to go into the breakout rooms, but you will have the added bonus of being able to pause the session at any point if you need a bit of extra time. Now, some highs in the chat. Luca says hi. Hi, Luca. Minnie says hello, people. Hello, Minnie, and hello, people. Charlie is struggling to hear. I hope you get that fixed. I'm not sure why that is. Hello, Oscar and Lara. Right, I suppose we should probably get going. So this session, we're going to look at pathetic fallacy. Now, you may or may not heard of this before. Every week in Creative Café, we either have a new technique or a new skill, or we have a creative stimulus. Creative stimulus is something that might inspire you to do some creative writing. So it's something different every week. Hello, Imran. Right, so let's go. Can colours represent emotions? And if so, which colours represent which emotions? Now, you can share your ideas in the chat, jot them down, talk to someone at home, or just have a deep think. And if you're a quick finisher, you can think about what other things can represent emotions. Well done, Oscar and Lara, saying that red could mean anger. Luca says blue could be sadness. Ashaz says white is peace. Yes, that's a good one. Well done. Yellow means happy. That's a good one too. Any others? So Oscar, Lara, Minnie all saying that green could mean calm. And Oscar and Lara said purple could mean scared. Really, really interesting. Some people might think red means scared. They also might think red means love. So some colours have more than one connotation. That's what we call it. Okay, really good. Now we're going to do something we don't usually do in Creative Café. Normally we do a little bit of work first before we go off into the breakout rooms. But today we're going to do that straight away to gather some ideas. Now we're going to be talking this session about giving emotions to the weather. And in your breakout room, there'll be 2 or 3 of you. And I'd like you to create a list of emotions that could be applied to these elements of nature. So we've got a thunderstorm, we've got a big wave crashing in the ocean, we've got the sun setting over the calm sea, and we've got some lovely snow falling in a woodland area. So in your breakout room, or if you choose to work by yourself in the main room, I'd like you to come up with a list of emotions that you think could be matched up to this image. So get thinking, and I'll set up the breakout rooms for you now. Okay, I'm going to send you all off into the breakout rooms. You're allocated 3 or 4 of you per breakout room. When you go into them, introduce your name, share what ideas you have. Don't be afraid of saying, I'm not sure, what do you think? And see if you can get the conversation started. Now, we're only going to spend 1 minute in those breakout rooms, okay? So pretty much as soon as you go in, it's going to be time to think about coming back. So it really is just a quick hello and a quick sharing of ideas. Rooms are now open. I'll see you very soon. Hello, right, welcome back from your breakout rooms. If somebody in your breakout room did a really good job, was really helpful, really kind, came up with great ideas, organised everybody, anything like that, let me know in the chat so I can give them a double thumbs up. Okay, hopefully now you've started thinking about which emotions and personal qualities we could possibly attribute to the weather. And you might be wondering, is that what pathetic fallacy is? Well, I'm going to explain it to you right now. So pathetic fallacy is the attribution, which is the giving of human feelings and responses, human reactions to inanimate things or animals of nature, not just the weather. So this is the complicated bit now. When it's used in art and literature, pathetic fallacy is a figure of speech. So it's a bit like a metaphor or a simile, one of those types of things. The term comes from the Greek word pathos or pathos, meaning emotion. And it's only distantly related to the word pathetic. So it's not really pathetic as in useless. It's completely different to that. If you can avoid drawing on the screen using the annotation function, that'd be really helpful. Thank you. Okay, so we've got a little example of pathetic fallacy here. The wind howled in pain as it angrily rushed through the defiantly strong trees, sending terrified daisies fleeing for their lives. Now, there's some pathetic fallacy in that little bit of creative writing there that's highlighted in blue down at the bottom. I wonder if you can spot it. Look really closely and I will show you where the pathetic fallacy is in just a moment. Okay, do you think you've spotted it? Let's have a look. Here we go. So I've put in yellow where you can spot those human feelings and responses. So we've got howled in pain, angrily rushed, terrified daisies, fleeing for their lives as well. There's some really nice examples there for you. So we're going to see if we can try and apply that to our own writing. Well done, Oscar and Lara. I can see that you've picked out howled in pain. So you're absolutely right there. Well done. So we're going to see it in action, and then you're going to have a go yourself as we go through this together. So we've got the sun rose in the sky. So I'd like you to have a quick think. How could you improve that? What would you add to it? And then I'll have a go at adding something to it. Timothy has asked a really, really good question. What is the difference between personification and pathetic fallacy? Well, pathetic fallacy is a type of personification. So personification is giving human characteristics to inanimate objects. And pathetic fallacy is giving human emotions and feelings to elements of nature. So it's quite a specific type of personification. It's a bit like, so anthropomorphism is a type of personification, and that's one where we give animals human characteristics. So personification is a really broad term for lots of very specific different types. Okay. So Oscar and Lara said the sun rose gently in the picturesque sky. So that's a really good example. They've used gently. So that might give us a little bit of an idea of how they're feeling. Maybe you could work on that one there. And picturesque sky, rather than picturesque, could come up with an emotion or feeling. Amrish says the sun rose sleepily in the sky. That's a good one. Okay, so this is what I came up with. The smiling sun rose in the confident blue sky. Now, I was looking at that thinking, now, I've inserted some feelings and emotions and personal characteristics. Can I do better than that? And I came up with this. The smiling sun rose with grace and honour in the confident, bold blue sky. I was quite proud of that. I can see Imran says the sun rose peacefully in the sky. That's nice. I did go one step better, I think. The sun rose proudly, smiling sun rose proudly with both grace and honour in the confident, bold blue sky. So I really stretched it out there to include as many feelings as I can. Now remember, personification is making your non-human thing sound human-like, but pathetic fallacy is specifically about feelings and responses and emotions and things like that. Okay, so on your worksheet you'll see the wind blew through the trees in the sunlight. Now we're going to try and improve this one together. I'm going to let you have a little freestyle go first. So take some time and think, well, what can I do with this? And then we'll go through it together. Okay, now I'm going to go through this with you step by step. So if you've already got some great ideas and you've jotted them down, fantastic. If you haven't, don't worry. We're going to do it together right now. And if you feel like we're going a bit fast for you today, don't worry. Every time we do a live session, it is recorded and it's emailed out to you afterwards. So if you want to, you can come back and spend as long as you like on any of the tasks during the session. Right, so let's see what we've got in the chat. We've got the worried wind blew boldly through the strong trees in the sunlight. Beautiful. Amrish says the wind energetically blew through the trees in the warming sunlight. I like that one too. Ashaz, the howling wind blew through the dense trees in the sunshine. Very nice. Now, oh, another one. Lovely. I particularly like Charlie's one because Charlie has said the worried wind. So Charlie has given sort of feelings and emotions to the wind. So it's really important, as much as you might like to personify the element of nature, the wind or the trees or the sea waves, it's really important if you're trying to achieve pathetic fallacy that you give emotions to those things. Okay, so where might be a good place to add in the adjectives to show emotion? Let's have a little look. There you go. All of the places I've marked in red. So before or after, before a noun is where you would usually put your adjective. So you might have sad, happy, could go better than that, gleeful, depressed, confused, jealous, furious. You can put any of those words in before a noun. And adverbs, well, those are great words because those are words that describe how an action is carried out. They describe a verb, don't they? So you can add those in more or less the same place. Usually goes either side of a verb, but you can put those in to show emotion even more so. You could do something sadly. Right. Let's move on to the next one. How would you improve this? Snow landed on top of the discarded bouquet. Now, this is on your worksheet, so you can jot down some ideas around it. I am going to offer you the opportunity to go into a breakout room where you can either read out your ideas for this one or the last one. You can just listen to everybody else's ideas if you don't have your own to share just yet, or you can work together to improve what you've come up with. So take some time to work on this one whilst I set up the breakout room. Okay, so the breakout rooms are now ready. Remember, just like before, when you go into your breakout room, they'll close pretty much straight away. So you only really have about a minute and a half in this breakout room now to share your ideas, what you've come up with, and maybe offer to help somebody if they're struggling a little bit. Maybe you've got some really good ideas. Maybe you can offer some really supportive peer feedback. So here we go. Rooms are now open and I'll see you in about 1.5 minutes. Okay. Looks like everybody's back from the breakout rooms. That's fantastic. So once again, if there was somebody in your breakout room, you did a great job. Let me know who they are in the chat box so I can give them a double thumbs up. So how did you improve this? Hopefully you gave an emotion or a feeling to the elements of nature, because that's how we achieve pathetic fallacy in our creative writing. So for example, how did you describe the snow? Was it timid snow? Was it jealous snow? Was it furious snow? Let's see. So, Ahilia described it as scared. Lovely. Oscar and Laura said peaceful, quiet snow, softly landed. Oh, you're really creating like gentle vibes in that one. Very nice. Minnie says Oscar and Laura did really well. Well done, Oscar and Laura. You're doing great this evening. Thank you for that, Minnie. Okay, so we're on to the final challenge now, right at the end of our 30-minute creative writing session. It whizzes past, doesn't it? So what I'd like you to do right now is to see if you can describe the sunshine in a way that shows emotions of anger and frustration. Now, normally when we use the sunshine in our descriptions, we're using it to describe happiness, joy. You know, a real joyful feeling is achieved often by personifying the sun. Mr. Sun, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun. It's cheerful. But let's see if you can switch that a bit and describe the sun in a way that makes it full of emotions of anger and frustration. So that's the final challenge. See if you can do it. You can either do it in the chat box, on your piece of paper, or with a sibling or an adult or somebody at home. Okay, so I need to share Charlie's example because it's really, really good. Well done, Charlie. Charlie says, the raging ball of fire furiously beamed down, scorching everyone. So because Charlie used the word furiously, giving those feelings to the sun, the element of nature, that's a great example of pathetic fallacy. So well done for that. Deanne's just asked if you'll get a recording. You will all get the recording of the session, so don't worry if you missed the beginning or if you want to revisit anything during the session. Okay, well done, all of you. So Minnie, let's have your example. Minnie says the boiling sun hid behind the angry clouds. That's a great one, because not only have you called the clouds angry, so you've given pathetic fallacy in that respect, you've also said the sun hid. So we think you might be a little bit shy or scared or timid. Really, really nice. Okay, I'm sure you've all come up with great examples, and don't forget, I do love reading your work. So if you've come up with something that you think is really good, you can get your adult to email it over to me and I can give you a well done and some feedback. Amri says the raging angry sun beamed onto the city. Fantastic. I like it. Raging, angry, really good. Oscar and Laura said The anxious, furious, reckless sun scorched the innocent, mad people. Very nice. I like the way you sort of incorporated that anxious feeling of, the frustration and anger isn't necessarily just, it can be a little bit heightened as well. I like that. Timothy says, the nasty sun burnt the population on a summer's evening. Yeah. Do you mean like nasty, like mean? That's a really good one. Well done. And Dion says, the agitated sun shone down mercilessly. Agitated, frustrated. Very good. Okay. So I always like to give you an after class challenge. So this is optional. This is, I suppose, a bit like homework, but it is completely optional. It's something that you can do after the class to practice and really reinforce what we've covered in our 30-minute session. And who knows, you might end up writing something really fabulous and wonderful, and who knows, becoming a published writer of some description one day. So the after class challenge this week is to write a description, creative writing description, inspired by this picture. This is on the worksheet. You might like to use it as a starting point for a short story or a poem, or you might like to just write something really beautiful or interesting. You can use some of the techniques that we've covered today, but you can also use other things like similes, alliteration, wow words, anything you like. And if you'd like to, you can always email it over to me. I love reading your work. So that's it for this Creative Cafe taster session. I hope you've got a really good feel of what it's like. If you wanted to come and join me for the next 5 weeks, I've got a special £10 off offer for those of you that have taken part in the taster session. So you can tell your adult that if you want to come and join me. But otherwise, well done for all your hard work. If you're live, stick around for a minute and I'll get to say a quick hello to you all. But see you all soon.